Ghanaian, it has no future.
That's right.
Now you're talking about it has come to stay.
Stay where?
A policy is not a matter of the policy staying. It's about the results. Whether it's going to provide the needed incentives we need as a country, as a sovereignty.
That's right.
If you have a child that has been 100 years and never offered the society anything and was drug addict, and you are spending on him, and it's a liability to the state, is that what you want? I rather prefer a child that will be 40-year-old, but the child can offer our society and our country something that we can say the child is an asset. You don't develop a liability for Ghanaians. The fact of the matter is that they never thought through 24-hour economy. They never conducted any research. They don't have any data backing it. They don't know the future of 24-hour economy. In any case, there was a time that I asked 22 of them. They couldn't even define. All of them were giving different definitions. How could one policy, multidimensional definitions, stop deceiving Ghanaians? Mr. Speaker, trying to conclude on what I'm saying, I'm asking my brothers from the NDC and the government to go and rethink, because this document, Mr. Speaker, contains nothing. It's like medicine without a potent medicinal element. It's like taking water when you have infection. It's nothing.
That's right.
So, Mr. Speaker, all that I want to say is that they should withdraw all these things, go back. They don't have to abuse the fact that they have numbers. They don't have to abuse the fact that they can pass anything they want. Posterity will ask them. The next generation will ask them, what did you use your numbers to do? Because you have power. This 24-hour economy, even though it's not a bad policy, they are not prepared. It has nothing good to offer us. There's nothing in it. It is empty. The authority they want to have, it hasn't got even where you should think of authority.
That's right.
I'm surprised. Why are you jumping the gun? Because you have numbers. What is the ulterior motive behind this? Mr. Speaker, I would like to end here, but I'm advising them, if they take my advice, one day, Mr. Speaker, allow me to speak to you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Yes, I will give the floor to Honorable Kwame Agboja.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the motion regarding the 24-hour economy bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, I was looking for my very good friend Speaker to congratulate him for the vigorous campaign he mounted in defense of his candidate towards the NPP parliamentary presidential elections. I also want you to take the result you got in good faith. But did I hear you say that we don't even understand what we are doing? Honorable Speaker, it appears your constituent also didn't even know what you were talking about, because your candidate lost in your constituency. So Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it appears all the dancing, all the vigorous campaign, your constituents alone didn't even understand what you were talking about. So they voted against your candidate. Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues. Sometimes I agree with them when they say that as political actors, we should be principled. And it's very important so that the country doesn't think that anytime we do things, we don't think deeply about it. But Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, in fact, at the point, recently I heard you arguing that you were supposed to occupy a position. But they didn't give it to you. Hold on. Oh, what is wrong with you? Mr. Speaker, oh, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, just sit down. I'm coming to the policy. Yes. Wait, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, wait.
All of you, resume your seats.
Yes.
Honorable Agboja. Honorable Kwame Abuja. Honorable Kwame Abuja, just hold it. All of you, resume your seats. Honorable members, let me indicate that we've all spent more than a year. We need to conduct business within the rules. If you have something to say, catch the eye of the speaker. You will be called to raise your issue. It is disorderly to just get up and be shouting. That is not the way it is done. Honorable Kwame Abuja, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues from the other side talk about no need to set up the 24-hour economy authority. The same people who found it necessary, despite the fact that we had Ghana Education Trust Fund, Ministry of Education, and yet set up development authorities to build 6 unique classrooms. When Adaklu Assembly was already building KVIPs, you gave that right to another authority called the Middle Belt Authority. Indeed, that is not what we are doing. Honorable Speaker, you did not actually understand the definition of what 24-hour economy is. And let me give you, Honorable Speaker, sit down. Do you have a copy of the bill? Don't go. I'm asking you, if you have a copy of the bill, let me take you to. Now you run away. Let me take you to. Okay, very good. He's now asking me to tell him what 24-hour economy is. Honorable Speaker, let's take to page 12. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Stephen Namwa, we listen to you in silence. It is true that in your submission, you say they do not know what 24-hour economy is. You ask 4 people and they give you different definition. So he is on that point that you have raised. Okay. So let's listen to him.
Honorable Speaker, sit down. When you were speaking, I was here. Don't go. Sit down. On page 12 of the bill itself, it says, under interpretations, 24-hour economy and accelerated development program means a cross-sectorial economic development program that seeks to modernize, reorganize, and restructure the productive sectors of the economy to achieve, amongst other things, and the listed these things. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, he obviously did not read this, so he put those things out. Mr. Speaker, I read the bill and I read the memorandum. It is a very good thing, Mr. Speaker, and that is why at least he said something that in his view the policy is not wrong, but in his view it is good policy, but he thinks that we do not know what we are doing. At least he knows that the policy is good, and this is why I'm coming to tell him one of the good things about the policy. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy policy is not a project where you have a short-cutting, where you have an office set up and then there will be things like the budget you saw about. It's about coordination. Once you see the definition of this, you understand what it means. Mr. Speaker, I also hear him saying that what we promised was to have entities running 24 hours, and he's not sure if any private enterprise is doing that. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy is already in motion. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, the object of the bill, let me read paragraph 5. The object of the bill is to establish a 24-hour economy authority to ensure the integration, sustainable transformation of national system for economic production, supply chain, market and labor power development, and to provide related matters. Mr. Speaker, for you to have a clear synergy between the supply chain, you need good roads in this country. The whole point of the big push is to serve as a catalyst to address these things. So the 24-hour economy is not yet coming. It is already here being implemented. And Mr. Speaker, let me tell you this. There are contractors working under the big push who who are currently working 24 hours to make sure that we meet these objectives.
Yeah.
I can show you where they are.
Yeah.
And the jobs we are talking about, the last time we were here, you said that the big push only creates menial jobs. When you have civil engineers, quantity surveyors, many people working for the rest of the big push project, you cannot say that the job of a civil engineer is not necessary. So indeed, thousands of jobs are already being created under this, and even after the building, there will be maintenance contract that will be carried on this, Mr. Speaker. So I just want colleagues to understand, since Mr. Honorable Speaker says that he's not against it, this is what you do. And let me tell you, when we were sitting where you were sitting, we opposed things, but tell me one of the things we opposed that did not come to pass that we were right. We don't oppose just for the sake of opposition, but you are in a haste to oppose for nothing, and that is why you get it wrong. I'm giving you my simple understanding of it. Be very careful what you oppose. The last time I came here, we talked about the Accra-Kumasi expressway. A few of you jumped on it and said you were not in favor of it. At least the proponent of that opposition came back to rationalize his position to say that he is no longer against it. By the way, the Accra-Kumasi expressway is coming on, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy will actually create jobs. It will spur growth in our country. I agree with my colleagues that we should be careful what we are trying to do under this policy. And I agree with them. We shouldn't just rush and do anything. We should take their views also on board. But don't just oppose it and say that we don't know what we are doing. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is one of the smallest bills we've done in this House. But it's quite detailed in terms of the understanding of it. And I encourage my colleagues to support this bill. Let's set up this. This is not going to be just another Kwango that is set up to create jobs for the boys. It will be a catalyst that will spur development in our country. And I want to encourage our colleagues to support this bill. And then when it comes to the consideration stage, we bring all the views we have to make it a rich bill that will stand the test of time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Give guidance as to how many more we should take. Yes, leadership.
Speaker, I was just trying to negotiate with my colleague on the other side. We were thinking that we can do 3-3 before leadership. Speaker, this is 24
Including those who have spoken?
No, they have spoken already. I'm talking about outstanding. We have 3 outstanding, they have 3 outstanding, and leadership, respectfully. This is 24-hour economy. It's multi-touted, everybody has...
No, we have the policy debate that will come. The policy was laid and referred.
Speaker, so Honorable Abu Jinapo is ready. Samuel Abu Jinapo is ready.
Well, leaders agree on something and then let me implement. Is that the sense of the House? They say 3 more.
Very
well.
Thank you.
Very well. I will give the floor to the senior man. Honorable Animedu Entry, were you on your feet?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in all honesty, I have gone through the bill and I have sat through and I have read the report. the report of the committee, and Mr. Speaker, the best conclusion I can say about this is much ado about nothing. I don't see the head and tail. When you read the memorandum, Mr. Speaker, it talks about 3 pillars. And the 3 pillars gives an impression that we would have something substantial to live on. But Mr. Speaker, I would say, and I would advise the Attorney General that since he is the government's lawyer, I would advise, as was said by a certain woman in this country, that this, my brother, must be bold and advise that this bill must be withdrawn, be looked into, and if possible, be presented again. Mr. Speaker, I may want to refer you to some portions of this report for us to understand and carry the House along. For instance, page 3, paragraph 2 says, Ghana's current economic structure is characterized by a heavy reliance on imports and a disproportionate expansion of the service sector relative to the productive sectors of agriculture and manufacturing. National GDP data indicate that economic growth has been driven largely by services rather than by direct production. This imbalance is unsustainable, as productive and service sectors must grow in tandem to support a resilient economy. Words are used here, but Mr. Speaker, if you look through the report, I don't see the marriage between the services that Ghana offers and what this bill seeks to achieve. Mr. Speaker, it goes on. The program seeks to reverse this trend by reducing the country's dependence on the export of low value raw materials and on the importation of expensive finished and intermediate goods. Its objective is to strengthen domestic value addition, enhance competitiveness, and accelerate export development in order to make the national economy more resilient. Mr. Speaker, I would have thought that this is something that would have been left to Agribusiness Ministry. I don't see anything new that this policy, this 24-hour economy is bringing. Mr. Speaker, there have been various definitions. Even this afternoon, senior members of this House are attempting to define a 24-hour economy. We haven't understood the 24-hour economy up to date. And Mr. Speaker, if you go through, I'll go further to the object of the bill. It says, quote, the object of the bill is to establish the 24-hour authority to ensure the integrated, sustainable transformation of national systems for economic production, supply chain, marketing, and labor power development, and to provide for related matters. Again, words are used. In this country, Mr. Speaker, we had planting for food and jobs, and we had planting for exports. I do not think that the innovative idea that is coming, that has been brought in this House, is different from what the former government, that is the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government, did so far as this planting for jobs and exports are concerned. Mr. Speaker, I don't see the marriage between the three steps that this bill is proposing. And Mr. Speaker, I honestly would want to advise. Again, I had thought that it was supposed to be a government program. But Mr. Speaker, they go like the way the Akufo-Addo-led government did about one district, one factory. When we spoke about one district, one factory, Mr. Speaker, the idea was that this was supposed to be the private initiative. Again, they turn around to talk about the fact, and this is reported in this report, that it must be private. And Mr. Speaker, if I may point out at page 8, the last paragraph to the next page says, in addition to commercial financing, the program is expected to attract funding from private and institutional sources, including developmental banks, pension funds, multilateral development partners, and private foundations, rather than relying on direct allocations from the national budget. Mr. Speaker, it is not surprising that I didn't see much in the budget. So if the government is planning to use the private sector to support this initiative, Mr. Speaker, I'm afraid that we are heading nowhere than failing the country. Mr. Speaker, I would advise seriously that I don't see the linkage, apart from the fact that we have established a structure that is going to be a chief executive, there's going to be the accounting department, there's going to be deputy executive and other things. Mr. Speaker, I do not, apart from the structure which is normal, I do not see anything that is being proposed in this bill, and that is why I would pray the Attorney General that he should be bold, think about this, advise the government, and withdraw this bill, and if possible, work on it and resubmit to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'll give the floor to Honorable Alamzi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this report is very innovative, and I am sure Ghanaians will be very, very happy with this report. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy refers to an economic system where it takes around the clock into consideration, where we have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind my colleagues from the other side, this was a political promise, and Ghanaians bought into it very well. The concept emerged as a response to the growing demand and to move away from the traditional working hours. Mr. Speaker, in today's world, this reflects the shift of society patterns. Mr. Today, the consumer behavior that we have is not like before. Mr. Speaker, the consumer has become so demanding that the normal or the traditional hours cannot contain us. Mr. Speaker, 24-hour economy encompasses the various industries, which includes, Mr. Speaker, the retailing industry, the hospitality industry, the healthcare industry for our people. So I wonder why my colleagues from the other side, they are having a problem with it. It's all about convenience for our people. Mr. Speaker, the driving force is not NDC. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind them, the driving force is not NDC. The drivers of the 24-hour economy today is the rise of online shopping, the flexibility working hours that people demand or the workers demand from us. Mr. Speaker, with 24-hour economy, people can now work, shop, access service any time of the day and even in the night. Mr. Speaker, if you don't want this, what do you want? Mr. Speaker, the bill, that is the 24-hour economy, will bring about, let me first of all state them so that if there is time, I will elaborate on them. It will bring about improvement access to health service. It will bring about increased employment opportunities for our people. Today, let's take the recruitment into consideration. Look at how many people are applying and how many people we are going to employ. 24 our economy is going to make sure that we employ
our economy which will create jobs for the people on account of export promotion. Mr. Speaker, in this country, Ghana, we have a whole institution, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. We have an existing authority whose sole mandate and responsibility is to promote exports. And the question that I believe the Ghanaian people will ask, particularly the youth of our country will ask, is that why create another authority for export promotion when you have a whole authority, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, dedicated to promoting exports? Just because we have the Free Zones Board, we have the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, which is responsible for promoting investment, and that will create jobs. So the first point I'd like to make is that this authority, this proposed authority, complete duplication. Mr. Speaker, it is becoming clear that our friends want to buy time and want to continue to give the youth of our country some false hope that some 24-hour economy is about to be birthed, which will then generate jobs for the youth of our country. Mr. Speaker, I began by saying candor and honesty in politics and governance is absolutely important. You don't need another authority to promote export and thereby create a 24-hour economy and deal with the unemployment situation in our country. We have the Ghana Export Promotion Authority already. Mr. Speaker, let me refer the House again to page 7 of the report. And at page 7, Mr. Speaker, at page 7, when you look at the part that talks about the second pillar, and with your permission I quote, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, the report says the second pillar
centers on the development of supply chain and market systems, with emphasis on the provision of reliable energy security. Mr. Speaker, the report is telling this House and telling the country that the 24-hour authority is to be established to provide reliable energy security in order for us to have a 24-hour economy and create jobs for the youth of our country. Mr. Speaker, there is a whole ministry, the Ministry of Energy, whose whole mandate is to ensure reliable energy security. So, Speaker, the question again that the Ghanaian people ask, that the unemployed youth ask, do you need an authority in order to be able to establish a reliable energy security, to build a 24-hour economy, and to generate jobs for the unemployed youth of our country? Mr. Speaker, the clear answer is no, because there's Ministry of Energy. Mr. Speaker, let us also, as I say, be fair to the facts. And Mr. Speaker, this is serious business being conducted in this House. The fundamental question is, what did President Mahama and the NDC promise the Ghanaian people and the unemployed youth of our country? And with that, Mr. Speaker, let me refer the House to the NDC manifesto, their own manifesto, specifically page 22 of the NDC manifesto. And Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I quote, this is what they promised the country. This is what they promised the unemployed youth of our country. This is what, indeed, Mr. Speaker, they campaign on, Mr. Speaker, and indeed, they put out multiple adverts on this promise. And Mr. Speaker, the whole campaign of the NDC in the 2024 election was anchored on this promise. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, this is what they told the Ghanaian youth. The 24-hour economy is a deliberate policy intervention by the incoming NDC administration to stimulate economic growth by creating an enabling environment in 3 shifts of 8 hours. In 3 shifts of 8 hours. Mr. Speaker, they go further to indicate that DVLA will operate 24 hours. Customs will operate 24 hours. Ports and harbors will operate 24 hours. Passport office will operate 24 hours. And so if DVLA was operating 24 hours today, it will mean that the unemployed Ghanaian youth can work in 3 shifts at DVLA, 8-hour shift. They can do that today, Mr. Speaker. With the greatest of respect, I want to submit that you do not need an authority to fulfill your promise of ensuring that DVLA, customs, ports and harbors, passport office, and all these public tell us that they need $400 million United States dollars to operate the 24-hour economy. So because their flagship program, they dedicated 7% of the $400 million. They've even not been able to fulfill the 7% that they committed, the 7% of the $400 million United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude, Mr. Speaker, by indicating that it's taking them 1 whole year to put together a policy document, Mr. Speaker. And indeed, when they themselves committed 7% of the $400 million required to operationalize a 24-hour economy, even the 7%, they've not fulfilled it. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that jobs for the men he hasn't found jobs for, he would then find jobs for them buy a few land cruisers for them, give them salaries, give them allowances. This authority will not affect the suffering unemployed youth. It will not affect the unemployed youth in Bolagatanga, to Keta, to across the length and breadth of our country. It will not. That's what I want to conclude by submitting. And I do so forcefully. That 11 months into the NDC administration, that is 24-hour today, that has 3 people doing their job, is the office of the Speaker of Parliament.
Why are you trying to speak for 24 hours?
Mr. Speaker, you see only your job, that is 133. It's the only job that is 133. The office, the job of Speaker of Parliament is the job where you have Right Honorable Abin Babin do one shift, and you yourself, Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker do the second shift, and the second Deputy Speaker does the third shift. The only job in Ghana that is 133 is the job of the Speaker of Parliament. But no, that is not 24 hours, and that is not 8-hourly shift. You don't do 8-hourly shift, Mr. Speaker. This is another gimmickry. This is another deception. This is just to buy time. This is just to give false hope to the unemployed. You promise them employment. You promise them 24-hour economy. You promise them 133. 11 months down the road, you have failed to deliver. Ghanaians are tired of talk. They want action. Implement it, and implement it now. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Zuera, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we consider the report of the 24-hour Economy Authority, Mr. Speaker, I am very, very, very dumbfounded that my colleagues on the other side are trying to suggest that we should not have an authority for the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, we were all in this chamber in the 8th Parliament. Our friends on the other side touted the senior high school free SHS. And for 4 years, we sat here. In fact, Mr. Speaker, one day they made us sit here. And they said the bill was on its way. We should wait. It was coming. Mr. Speaker, we sat here from Anopa to Anajo. From the Safe to the Dere. The bill never came. Up to today, these people. This is what they did with the free senior high school. Mr. Speaker, and I am very surprised that my learned brother, who is running away from the chamber, made reference to the free senior high school and suggesting that within 3 months, the MPP government had implemented it. Mr. Speaker, you and I take Charles strikes, no food, gari and palm oil, we saw it all. And this is what happens when you implement a program without a policy, without thinking through it. Mr. Speaker, running a country, fashioning out policy and programs to run a country is not a 3-month business. And they should not be proud of that record. Mr. Speaker, since the NDC government came into power, 7 January 2025, have you heard of a single strike from any senior high school complaining about no feeding? Have we heard about any strike actions, any demonstrations, school children complaining that they haven't been fed? This is what you get when you provide good governance. This is what you get when you provide governance that invests time in fashioning out policies that will have enduring practicality, not just coming to do propaganda and sacrificing the future of our children. Mr. Speaker, export promotion and export development are 2 distinct things. they are never the same. And that is why the 24-hour economy says it is productivity, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. And if you read the preface to the 24-hour economy, and His Excellency President Mahama said, we are going to consume what we produce.
Yes.
And when we export with value. We are cutting out the export of raw materials. Mr. Speaker, this week, today, this morning, I woke up coming to work and I felt proud as a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
My only regret, Mr. Speaker, was that I didn't see the news item before I left home. I would have come here in my fugu. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has given expression to the productivity and export of finished Ghanaian products by arriving in Zambia in his beautiful Ghanaian fugu. Mr. Speaker, to imagine that Zambians decide that based on that, they are going to wear our fugu. That is export of developed products, export of finished products, 24-hour economy markets. Imagine each market has a processing or a fugu developing plant. The number of fugu that we will produce and export to Zambia and other places in the world. This is what we mean when we talk about the 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
We are not talking about export promotion. We are talking about export development. We will develop the products, we will develop what we have and export it so that we gain value on our produce. Mr. Speaker, I heard my brother questioning the 24-hour economy shift program. He is not aware. Maybe he should have asked me.
Yes.
He is not aware that the Minister of Transport and the DVLA are building DVLA offices in every district in this country, including my own good Salaga South. And those officers are going to employ the youth and the Ghanaians who are looking for jobs. And if at the end of the day, we employ them and they require 24-hour shift service, 8-hour shift service, that is exactly what we will provide. We never will run away from that campaign promise. Mr. Speaker, today, I'm having to work in my municipal hospital and I'm asking for quarry dust from the Upper East region. And I'm told that the dust has to travel throughout the night because when they travel during the day, because of the heat, the weather, it affects the tires. That is what 24 hours means. Yeah. That enough security will be provided so that our trucks, goods and services can be conveyed 24 hours across the country safely. Mr. Speaker, at Salaga, in a community in my constituency called Bunkwa, we produce the best yam in the country. Fortunately, the road minister is here. In the budget, we were told that 1,000 kilometers of roads are going to build to farming areas and communities. So that goods farm will be moved to the market centers. So if a 24-hour economy exists in Salaga, and we bring all the yam there. And all the importers come to Salaga and buy the yam around the clock. Mr. Speaker, that's vibrant economy for the people of Salaga. You know. So if anyone sits here in this house and tries to suggest that we should not have an authority because some other authorities already exist, to what extent did those authorities provide service to affect the local people in this country? This is a policy that is drilling down to the people of this country. It's not going to be a headquarters sitting in Accra and people don't know what is happening. Every district, 24-hour economy will be represented in every district. Mr. Speaker, I don't know that there's an export promotion office in Salaga. No. I don't know about that. But I